Morning, we're live. Awesome. Okay, so as usual, we have our normal Facebook error message this morning, so I'm not really sure what happens there. But hopefully y'all found your way in okay. It looks like everybody's coming through on YouTube, which is as far as I'm concerned, the preferred way anyway. So, Linda has arrived from the United Arab Emirates. Good morning, Linda. Well, actually, it's probably around lunchtime for you, isn't it? And Ronnie is here. She is traveling right now, but she still has Wi Fi, so she's able to tune in. I'm so glad, Ronnie. That's awesome. Donna's here from North Carolina, and my eyes just wandered down to Carla from Oklahoma City. Hi, Kathy's here from Long Island, New York, and Linda, my Michigander buddy, and Regina, my friend from North Georgia. Courtney Ridings is coming to us from Texas this morning, and Kathy Dewey's here too. Good morning. Deanna's here. Monica's here from Durand, Illinois. Debbie's here from Iowa. Oh, Julie Olson's here. Good morning, Julie, from up the road, just a little way. We just got Julie's long arm set up and ready to go. So I'm kind of anxious to see what she's going to do with it. So this morning we are going to work on Spin-e-Fex 8. And like all the rest of our Spin-e-Fex, it comes in 5 sizes from 3.5, 5.5, 7.5, 9.5, 11.5. I'm going to show you something totally different for Spin-e-Fex today. After we get through the basics, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a Spin-e-Fex into an edge-to-edge design. I know, right? This is going to be interesting. To say the least. Joy's here. Good morning. Oh, thank you so much, Joy. I just appreciate your kind comments. And Linda's here from a chilly Brisbane. It's hot chocolate time down there. Remember, it's winter there when it's summer here. Jackie is here from Drumheller, Alberta, the dinosaur capital of North America. Well, that sounds interesting, Jackie. Ty's here from Southern California. One thing I do, this is a little bag, and I've been carrying this little bag with me since basically I started doing ruler work. And what I keep in this little bag here is my starter sampler set. I also now I have added my connectors. I keep a sheet or two of arrows. I also keep a scan 1/4 inch seam guide and my 12-inch arc, of course. Now, why do I mention that? The reason I'm mentioning that is because whenever I bring out basically any Spin-e-Fex or basic templates such as that, I like to have this close by so that I can use some of my templates from my starter sampler set to help my Spin-e-Fex designs grow. Okay. I don't know if we're going to get to growing any today, but it's something I've never mentioned before, but always thought I should. So there we've got it. Spin-e-Fex 8, it has 2 very distinctive looks to it. What you'll see is if we put the bottom side, I'm going to go ahead and take this off so it's not shiny in your face. if we put this bottom side right here in the center, this is the look that's going to happen. If we put the top side in the center, this is the look we're going to get. And we're going to do some of those, okay? Um, this is 16 rotations with the top out, 16 rotations with the bottom out. And of course, you all know how I love to twist and echo, and this template is perfect for that. I'm probably not going to do that today, though. Okay. So it says it comes in the mini. I didn't double check. If anybody has the minis and want to clue me in on whether the Spinifex 8 is in there or not, I would appreciate it. Not every single Spinifex is available in the mini size. Okay, just to let you know. Let's see who else has made it here. Well, Cactus Deb is awake and she made it. Good morning, Deb. Regina Mathis is here from North Georgia. Good morning, Regina. Rita is here from Victoria, Australia. Rugged up in the front of the wood fire tonight. It's cold there. I am so sorry, Rita. You should just come on up to the US for your winter and then you'd have summer all the time. Oh, the threaded lady, Joyce Klinkert, is here from Mesa. Good morning, Joyce. Nice to see you. Pam has made it in from Maine. And Brenda is here for the first time from Missouri. Brenda, welcome. I hope it's not your last. So nice to see you here. I hope you enjoyed the live. Marcia's here from Texas. Allison, good morning from Southwest Florida. And Mary Lou Irish is here from Western New York, which is the area that my husband was born in. He was actually born in Lackawanna, New York, which is a suburb of Buffalo. Grew up in Orchard Park. Okay, so here we go. I am going to take my 9.5 inch. And the reason I'm going to do the 9.5 inch is because I've got a 15-inch block. And there's no sense in putting little tiny stitches around here when we can use a nice big one. So I'm going to go ahead. The first half of this, I am going to put the bottom side down. How do I know the difference between the bottom and the top side? The bottom side has the gate on this particular template. If you don't have gates, I'm not really sure where the needle channel is on these, but you will have a little tack hole here. Because remember, we can pull all of these designs out an extra 2 inches if we want to by putting the circle in first. Now, you don't need to do this, but I like to put the 2-inch simple circle in and it will help me to move from one reference line to the other much easier. Okay? Just my philosophy. If you don't find it easier, that's okay. Don't use it. That's just kind of the way I roll. I like to do what's easiest. I want you to do what's easiest. And it looks like I have a problem here. I just checked my bobbin. So for some reason, it's getting held up here. We're going to have to check why. Okay, love this. My slider just slides back. I can open up here. Go ahead. Oh, there it was. It was just caught in there. And there we go. Now we should be okay. And yes, I do have a full bobbin on standby because I'm playing bobbin roulette. this morning with the one that's in my machine. Janice would want me to put the full one in, I'm sure. Oh, okay, here we go. We are going to come down, pull our bobbin thread up. Hopefully this time it'll come up without any problems. And there it is. Okay, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my template facing us here. Let me check, make sure that you've seen everything that there is to see in here. And it looks like you are. I can pull you back just a little bit though. Okay. Linda Lombardo says yes, the mini comes in Spin-e-Fex 8. Thank you. Okay, and it's in Spin-e-Fex Mini Spin-e-Fex Set 3. Thank you so much, Carla. I knew I could count on you guys. You're always so good to me. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come around this. Now, what you'll notice is I only have staple tape on one side. I know you're getting sick of hearing me say these things, but this is a symmetrical design. So even if you flip it, it's going to look exactly the same. So we only need staple tape on one side. Okay, I did check this, but I must have let it loose when I was monkeying around with it. There we go. I consider this template a great beginner template because the curves in it are just beautifully um, put in here so that they're just nice waves. They're not any sharp curves in here. Go ahead and get rid of my thread because we all know that this is just a practice piece. So I'm not going to use my time burying my thread. All right, here we go. Nice gentle curve here. Nothing that you're going to fall off of. If you are new or newer to template quilting, what I want you to remember is when we're doing curves, we want our stitches to be a little smaller. Now I'm going to do this side with the bottom sticking out. The reason that we want our stitches a little smaller when we're doing curves is because our machines only sew straight forwards, backwards, or side to side. What I mean by that is they don't stitch curvy lines. The lines are always going to be straight. So what the outcome will be by stitching those stitches a little bit shorter is that it will make the curves look much smoother. Okay, and there we go. So what I'm doing is I'm going on opposite sides. I am doing half of this block with the pointy side out, this point out. I'm doing the other half with this point out. Okay. Susie's here. Hi, Susie, you made it. So good to see you. Don't apologize for being late. You know me, I don't take attendance. But it's morning and I do drink my caffeine. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do another one. And again, I'm going on my vertical and horizontal crosshair first, and then I'll start doing some of my diagonal crosshairs. Don't forget to take an extra stitch here at the top. You don't want to sit there and hesitate too long because you'll end up with a thread ball at the bottom underneath your quilt block. Okay, there we go. Make sure that needle is down. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to move it so that we stay in this orientation because we're doing half and half here. Remember not to push the foot against the template or the template against the foot. What happens if you push either way? You're going to end up eventually skewing the template and ripping it out. Don't want to go there. The templates are made to just glide next to the foot. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. So this is my reference line 1, reference line 2, reference line 3, reference line 4, reference line 5. If we are doing an 8-point crosshair with 8 reference lines, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 16 on here. It doesn't mean I'm going to use all 16. It's just when I'm doing demonstrations like this, I prefer to have 16 lines. In case we want to use it, I don't have to stop and waste your time by drawing lines. So I do like to have them all in place before we even start. I look at it as you are being kind enough to spend your time with me. I do not want to waste your time. All right, here we go. What's also very nice about this is we can see that we are right at the proper point because these templates are crossing right on those reference lines that we may or may not use, right? Okay, I love the secondary designs that are formed from this template. They're just so pretty. Okay. Now this is going to give us a whole different look, and we're not going to get the same secondary designs that we get when we put the bottom at the center. Remember, I like to call the templates the bottom of the template where the gate or the tack hole is. The top of the template would be opposite that, of course, and that's where our nice point is going to be as well. And we're going to go end up in the center, and let's do 2 more. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm doing this as an 8-point crosshair with 8-point reference, 8 reference lines, then we're going to take it out. We're going to take a look at it and then as a group decide if we want to go on with the other 8 reference lines. Okay. Again, this is the point where we use to hesitate. We don't stay there. We're just hesitating. If you're new and you're not sure whether you're hesitating long enough or not, all you need to do is stop and stop at the top right here and just take a stitch. 1 stitch is all you really need to lock that point in. So you guys will be fine. Okay, back to center. and I'm going to put the fourth rotation, one, two, three, fourth rotation with the um, tack hole on the outside. Remember, when we start up and slow down, to me, using these templates is very similar to driving a car. I want to start up slowly. I don't need G-forces when I step on the gas. Then I want to speed up to a comfortable speed, which for me is slow, okay? I do go a lot faster on the demos because again, I don't want to waste your time. Okay, now we're going to come back to center, and what you're going to notice is I'm getting some thread build up there. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen my foot just a hair and come back into the center. There we go. We made it. Whew, was wondering if we were going to. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take my gate off. And you can see two very different and distinct patterns with this Spin-e-Fex 8. Okay, let's see. All right. So, question for you all. Who likes this side, which is the bottom side out, better? And who likes the top side out better? And quite honestly, I'm asking that question so that I can get a drink of caffeine, okay? Okay, there we go. Now, what we can do is we can take at this point and do embellishment to keep on working. Or we can put, okay, I like both. Di likes bottom out. Donna likes bottom out. Allison likes both. Joey likes bottom out. Mary Lou likes bottom out. Kathy likes bottom out. And Susie likes both. Linda's the odd man out here. She says, I like the top side out because you get the secondary design. I'm with you, Linda, quite honestly. Oh, Jackie does it too. Debbie likes the top side out. Eleanor likes the bottom side out. Joey likes bottom side out. And Donna likes bottom out. Di likes bottom out. I think the bottom out wins, guys. I really do. That's amazing. I did not expect that. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not expect that. But what the bottom side out does is it leaves us more opportunity to embellish it. However, I really want you guys to see how this comes to light with 16 rotations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore my own rule about going across and across. And I'm going to go ahead and go around and finish up 60 rotations. What this is going to do is this is going to give you some very different secondary designs. So here we go. And this is our bottom side out. Right now, my foot is up a little way. If you have a sewing machine which self-adjusts the foot, this is a great time to use it. My little machine here is a vintage machine. It doesn't do anything but sew forwards and backwards. Doesn't even do a zigzag stitch. That's how very plain this machine is. However, I absolutely love this machine for ruler work. The stitch integrity is impeccable. And when I say stitch integrity, what I mean is once the tension is set for the project I'm working on, and yes, sometimes it has to be changed, and I have to change the bottom tension occasionally too, but once it's set, it stays set. Okay, we've got two more of these guys. I love this template. So it just glides, the foot just glides across the edge of this template, and it makes it so nice and easy. Now, what you see me doing is I'm going backwards and forwards, which is a skill that really everyone needs to develop. The reason being is if you're going to do a larger piece, you're not going to be able to turn it like we can these simple little blocks. So it's going to be important for you to be able to go in both directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have one more to go. Just wanted to double check and make sure. Now, this particular bottom one is going to be a little different, as will the top one, because it's going to have a partial template going in each direction. I have seen some absolutely gorgeous results with quilters coming in and switching the direction of the template on every line, and they have been gorgeous. Okay, here we go. Now I've switched to make the top side come onto the outer perimeter here. I want to move my hands. In all reality, I feel like I should have another piece of staple tape in the center of this particular template because it's quite long for my hands, and I do need to stop and move my hands. When I do that, you want to make sure that you keep at least one hand on the template at all times so it doesn't move. You also want to make sure that your needle is set into your fabric, which again will keep everything stable. And we're coming back to the center. Now, when you're working with the center and you're trying to put things together, what I like to do is use a tailor's clapper. I'm sure you've all heard of it. It's a piece of wood, and I do, oh, I'm skipping stitches now because I'm way too high. There we go. Um, and this is what happens. If your foot is high, you're going to skip stitches like that. Mine came loose and it just got up real high there. I'm not going to worry. This is a practice piece. But what you want to do when you're doing these, okay, in we go. Go ahead and do practice stitch out first. Do it one way, then do it the other. And when you do that, what I do, and I'm not saying you have to, but I think it's a good idea to put those practice stitch outs with the templates so that the next time you want to use them, all you have to do is pull them out and say, oh, yeah, that's what it looks like when it's done. What I just use really thin fusible fleece. I don't put a backing on it. It keeps the cost down. You can use inexpensive fabrics. You don't need to use really expensive fabrics. The other thing, when I'm doing practice, I don't bury my threads. I just cut them off. I know this is not going into a quilt. Okay, there we go. And there we go. So this now is the 16 point. Remember that on the 8 point, these did not cross over. Here's one and here's the other. So we did not get a secondary design when we had the bottom pointing out like this on 8 reference lines. However, when we do 16, we get this absolutely awesome secondary design. Now, when we did 8 points, oh, and I left one out. I'm sorry. Everybody said, "Oh, I love the secondary design." Now, when we do 16 points, we get another additional secondary design that runs right straight through the center of the original 8 rotations. Personally, this side I like better with 8 rotations. This side, I like better with 16 rotations. It's all a matter of preference, and you can do it any way you want. It's entirely up to you. Okay, let's go ahead and let's take a look at maybe doing some embellishment on these guys, okay? I'm going to pick this side first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get into my starter sampler set. But first, I want to do something else. Okay, here I go, changing my mind, squirreling again. I do that often. You all know that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a portion of my template to add in, come on, I know you can do this. This is a 9.5. Let's see what the 11.5 is going to do. And then if I do that, let's do this, guys. Okay, first things first. What I want is I'm going to line up my 11.5. But I need to know where I'm lining it up. So this is going to come right here. I'm going to put an arrow on it. And it's going to stop there. So then I need to come over here. Whoops. Need to make sure I'm lined up properly. And I'm going to put an arrow here. So what this is going to do is it's going to help me when I move this over and line it up. Oh, I just scared the dog. Okay, now since we have the other template here, it's not going to line up exactly the same, but that's all right. Okay, I'm still going to go ahead and start this embellishment on this template. I have got my vertical line lined up. I'm going to make sure that I'm lined up on the left-hand side here where I want to stop. And we're going to stitch around the top. Again, this was a 9.5. This is an 11.5. Taking one stitch in place. What I'm doing is I'm just simply echoing. And we're going to come down. Now I'm going to move this over, line it up, and I'm going to travel. I know it's that dirty T word, right? Everybody hates it. But the bottom line is you want this skill. It's a skill that will take you places and it will get you beautiful results. Okay, lining up my vertical line. And now we're going to stitch. And you'll see it's early in the morning. My traveling isn't great. But that's okay. If you're unsure about your traveling, this is what you can do. Go ahead and take this gate off. We don't need it for this particular embellishment, okay? So you take that off, you get your 12-inch arc out, and I know it's in here because I just looked. There it is. You've got your spacing gauge. I'm going to turn this around so you can see it. You're going to come here, use your spacing gauge. Oh, I need actually to go about a half a stitch. You want to make sure you're on that line, guys. You really want to make sure. There we go. Stop at that intersection. I'm turning this around because I want it to be easy for you to see. And now we're going to come back up. But what we're going to do is we're not going to come all the way back up. We're going to come up to where we think this should be. And I'm gauging it by this stitch over here. Okay. Now I should be able to put this back in and be lined up with my arrow. And look it's perfect. Okay, guys, I don't do perfect very often. So this is a good one. Yay me. Okay, so up we're gonna come. Give it that hesitation stitch at the top, and we're gonna come back down. And we're going to stop right on that line of stitching. Now, if you want to be really, no, that's too hard. Never mind. That can get messed up too easily. So here we go. I'm taking my 12-inch arc. Stop at that intersection. Come out again. 12-inch arc. I'm going to stitch up. And that looks about right, but if it's not the end of the world. We can make 1 or 2 stitches easily. Okay, so there's our arrows, and you'll see I do need to come up further. So I'm just going to slowly take a few stitches, and now I'm going to go ahead and place my embellishment on. I got a little off center there. I'm not going to fret over it. That's why this is practice. Practice makes us perfect, right? You can see where this is off a little bit from here. And that's because I did not have the template lined up properly. It happens to us as well. I make mistakes. I will readily admit to them. Okay, now let's see how close we are. We're going to come back here. All right, we want, there goes that line, and there goes, oh my goodness, look at that. We are really in good shape here. Now, remember when I said if we're doing curves, we want to do smaller stitches? And we are doing curves in this project. So of course we want to do the smaller stitches where the curves are. When we're doing straight stitches, we can make them a little bit longer and it's going to be okay. With that in mind, what I always like to do is I do like to make sure that if I've got a curve and I've made smaller stitches here, I will do the entire rest of the project with the same size stitches. What I'm going for here is consistency. I don't want one portion of this to stand out over the others because the stitch length is different. And I hope that makes sense to you because it really will make it stand out. Okay, here we go. Take it easy. You got time. This is a relaxing process. Not, we don't want to cause any angst here. Okay, so what happened here? That's what happened there. I had it in the wrong place. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go backwards because what you'll see is my center here is off center. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk it back one stitch and perfect. Now, if you want, you can use your spacing gauge here as well, and you can use your 1/2 inch spacing gauge. So we're coming up about a 1/2 inch off of the first rotation that we did. You could do this at 1/4 inch if you'd like. And I'm a little off on this one, but I'm okay with that. This is why I'm practicing because I know now that I really need to watch these arrows much closer. And if you do a lot of free motion, you can travel. The key to being successful at free motion is twofold, I believe. Remember, this is my philosophy. If it's not yours, that's okay. It's all right. I'm fine with that. But my philosophy is go slow and steady. Don't stop. If I stop and start up again, what I am doing personally, and I know I'm doing this, is I am setting myself up to have that first stitch just jerk a little bit and makes everything crazy. So I have to stop, take it all out, steamer per time, not fun. So that's just one of the little embellishments we can use on our Spin-e-Fex. And it helps to bring the design out a little further. And it just adds a little something. I love it. Okay, so Lisa had to get her house out the door. I understand that. I really do. Yep. Okay. There's a whole lot of different ways we can embellish, but I really want to get to this second thing that I had set up for this morning, okay? And I think we're going to get through a good portion of it. We may not get through all of it, but we will get a good portion done. So what you'll see here is I have crosshairs set up all over the place, right? What I'm going to show you is something I've never tried before. In theory, this will work beautifully. Let's see what it does when it's actually stitched out. This is going to be an edge-to-edge design using a Spin-e-Fex template. So I've got a point crosshair here, a point crosshair here, here, here. Okay, all drawn in. I'm going to start and I'm going to go around, then I'm going to come over to this one, go around, and then break thread to come to the next row. You don't have to break thread if you don't want. You can double stitch. I would prefer to break thread only because I'm so persnickety about consistency. I'm not OCD. No comments out there, okay, Julie? I don't need you telling my secrets, okay? And, I just like things to be consistent, that's all. Okay, here we go. I am going to go ahead and put the template in the way it's intended. And I'm going to hold those threads back. You always want to bring that bobbin thread up and hold it for your first few stitches. Reason being is you don't want a thread nest under there. Remember, when we're doing ruler quilting, what we're doing is we're working on blocks that are basically finished. In other words, whatever we do here is going to be seen on the top and on the bottom of our project. I'm going to come in here and cut these threads out because I really just don't like them in my way. Okay, so we're going to realign here and we are going to come back to 0. Okay, and stop. Now I'm going to go out on the next reference line. Could you do this with 16 reference lines? Yep. Could do it with 32 reference lines if you're really ambitious. I'm not that ambitious. I'm going to stick with 8. I think personally 32 would muddy the waters. 8 gives us some beautiful secondary designs, as does 16. 16 reference lines does give us a beautiful design too. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. Reason I keep turning this, guys, is I want you to see what I'm doing. Okay, around we're going to go. I am using a 7.5-inch template. Okay, this one might be a little tricky because I'm going to be getting right to the outside of this fabric. Let's see if I can do it, okay? If you're a wagering person, now's the time to take bets. Oh, and I did it. I'm surprised. I really thought it was gonna bunch up on cause me all kinds of grief here. The quilting gods are with me. All right. Got a couple more to do here. We normally don't use our Spin-e-Fex as edge-to-edge designs. So I'm hoping that this turns out the way I want it to, but I think it will. I think it will. Oh, I've got to get one stitch back to center. There we go. If you have to adjust, by all means, adjust. And back to center. There we go. We only have a couple more to do on this one. And this will be our last one. Now, the way that I drew this out is I'm going to have these guys overlapping. I probably should have moved this out further, but if I did, I would not have had room to show you the entire design. So if I were to do this on an actual quilt, I would be using a 3 3/4 inch grid. And what that will do is it will ensure that each point just touches the point next to it. Here, I did not use 3 3/4. Not really sure what exactly I did use, so let me take a look at it. I used 3 1/2, and that was because it's a 17-inch square of fabric. Okay, so for this 7 1/2 inch, you're going to want to use a 3 3/4 inch grid. So I'll say that one more time in case you want to write it down. Set for a 7 1/2 inch edge to edge design, use a 3 3/4 inch grid. Okay. All right. So here we go. I mean, this is our last rotation. And this is going to actually go over into the next grid. And I'm perfectly okay with that because this is a practice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and double stitch on one side and stop right where that line crosses. You won't need to do that. I do because I don't have the grid drawn in the correct size. And if you want, I love how these two join together. So you could do this on a 3 1/2 inch grid and it will work. You'll have this beautiful little crossover and back down we're gonna go. Oh, and I have my off center, guys. I'm sorry. I'll make sure the next one is on center. Okay. So now we're going to do another 8 rotations, well, 7, because we've already done one. Now, what's nice about this is we want to end up here so we don't have to break thread. And with the Spin-e-Fex, we can go anywhere we want. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one in and then come back out to this one. And no one will know. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. The Spin-e-Fex allow us so many, I call them cheats. We can cheat as we're moving along here. Okay, and around we're gonna go. There we go. What do you guys think? Have you ever thought of using them like this? It's definitely different. But then again, so am I. No comment, Julie. Julie has known me for many years, so it's real easy for her to give away secrets. Uh, so I've got a few on her too. So I guess it's six of one, half dozen of the other. Okay. I did it twice. Yay me. I am so impressed. That didn't get all bogged up there and whoops, I was so excited. I slid my template. You know, that's another thing that really my stable tape on this particular template is mushed. Mushed. That's a real technical term. What I mean is it has become flat and it runs easily along my finger. So it's time to replace it. And the new staple tape dots make it a lot easier to replace. Okay, go ahead and do that. I'm going to hold it down better, take my time. Now I've come to this one last because you'll notice that we're going to go in this direction. So I'm going to be able to stop here and move right on up to the next row. And here we go. And back down. Now remember, we're going to have to travel on this one. If you don't want to travel, you do not have to. You can break thread and start fresh on the next row. But I'm going to go ahead and travel. There we go. Now all we have to do is turn it and start going in this on this particular one. Again, we're gonna, well, I came totally off the template that time, guys. I was looking at something else. When I look at something else, I come off the template. It's just me, the way I am. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and fill these two in. You'll see that these bottom ones, when we get back to center, you're gonna notice that they are not going to fit. And here we go. So what I'm going to do to fix the one that I came off the template with is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to travel stitch on that side. And then later on, I'll just come in and rip that out and no one will know except you guys. Okay, let's see where we're going. Oh, Jean's here. Hi. Hi, Jean. Nice to see you. Okay, Jackie Wilkie asked the question. And Jackie, this is a really good question. I have some stable tape that is like sandpaper. Is the sand stable tape better? I'm going to tell you yes. And I'm not going to tell you yes because I want you to of course buy from So Steady, which of course I do want you to buy from So Steady. Um, but what is important is that sandpaper can scratch up your surface here, okay? And you don't want that. You want the surface to remain very smooth and slick. So that is, and the stable tape will stick better to the surface if you needed to as well. Does that help answer your question, Jackie? I hope that does. Okay. Okay, let's see what else we got. I'd like it, but wondering how it would look if we alternated blocks with the top out and the other one bottom up dye. It would be gorgeous. I just don't have enough hours in a day to teach you guys everything that's in my brain. I certainly wish I did because I just love coming here. I love interacting with you, and I love doing designs, and you inspire me. You guys really do. You inspire me to do a better job, okay? Just because I want to for you. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do these guys. We've got a little time left. I want to get now, let's say this falls at the bottom or where our seam allowance is right here. Okay. So what I would do with that, because this is the end of my quilt, but I only have that much room. And this is exactly what I would do. Now, you could, if you wanted, stitch in the ditch along there, and that would work well too. Okay, so now we're gonna finish this off. And we're gonna make an entire rotation here. Around we go. Now remember, this line, this it's supposed to be horizontal, but it's vertical, is going to be the end of our quilt. This is going to be the seam line here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out, stop right there, twist, line it up. This is where we want to line it up, guys. We don't want to line it up here. We want to line it up here. The vertical is going to be the same. The horizontal, we're going to do this only because I have a 3.5 inch grid going this way. You're going to want 3.5, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And you can use any size template in it to make the grid. All you need to do is divide the template size in half. Okay, so here we go. And down it goes. Hello, I just got some company. I gotta tell you guys, my dog's gonna bark like crazy because she loves Chris, who just got here. Okay, here we go. Almost there, guys. After this, I only have one more thing to show you. I just wish I had more time. Okay, and around, remember, these are going to touch just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that one rotation here. And I ran out of bobbin thread. How perfect. What a great place to run out. I told you I was playing bobbin roulette this morning. All right, I have a full one loaded and ready to go. Whoa, guess what? I dropped it. What a surprise. It's just what I do. Okay, here we go. And we're gonna get that in. Oh, and my baby's not barking because she's getting all kinds of love over there. There we go. It does not take a whole lot of time. with this particular machine. Put a new bobbin in. There we go. Perfect. And okay. But the big thing is, where did I put my template? Come on, really? There it is. Oh, leave it to me to lose the template. It's what I do, right, Chris?
Everybody loses their templates.
As long as we don't lose our minds. Oh, Chris is a great template quilter. She started out with me. How many years has it been?
5?
5 years? It's got to be at least that, maybe even more.
I
Yeah.
didn't start ruler work right away.
She did not.
I
Right.
didn't want to.
She did not want to start ruler work, and now she's so addicted to it. And she tried free motion quilting, and you all know ruler work is nothing more than guided free motion. Free motion quilting is whenever you are making the stitch length yourself, as far as I'm concerned. Whether there's technicals to it or not, I don't know. Okay, this is going to be the last one I'm going to put in here because you guys are getting the idea really well. But I have one more little surprise for you, okay? And there we go. Oh, I might as well put this last one in because it's only a half a one, right? Okay, I keep changing my mind. Woman's prerogative. All right, there we go. Remember, this is a seam line, so we're only going to put half of the rotation in. And there we are. I'm going to take this out. Well, hello. Okay, we have two options now for what I'm thinking of here. Let's look them over. The one option is to get our 3.5 inch and come in here. I don't like that though. I think it's going to be way too big. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab collection 3 mini Spin-e-Fex. And this is Spin-e-Fex 8. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. My mini Spin-e-Fex 8. And which one is it? That's 9, that's 10, that's 8. There we go. Okay. What I'm going to do is lengthen that one line out, or I'm not going to be able to see it. And I don't need anything fancy. I'll just go ahead and use this. There we go. And there we go. No, yours are going to be even. You see how mine aren't? And that is simply because I did not have a 3 3/4 inch grid. I had 3 3/4 up and down and only 3.5 side by side. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to pull that bobbin thread up. There we go. Down. So we're going to make this quick. Okay. And we're going to put our mini Spin-e-Fex right here in the center. I just think that this is the perfect edge-to-edge design. And I know Spinifex are not made to do edge-to-edge designs. However, it could do anything we want it to. Isn't that awesome? With the mini Spinifex, you do want to keep a small stitch length because it's a mini and you want to stay in the same basic size. Because it's small, you want to make those stitches small. And we're going to only have a couple more here. How many of you are excited to see the Q3 Elevate box launch on June 19th? I'll be there. We're excited. We've got so many beautiful projects, so much education. It's amazing. And there we go. And now what we've done is we've gone ahead and closed in that circle a little bit, and it's going to make a cohesive design all the way around. So I'm going to push it over there a little, lift that up a little. Remember, this is our seam allowance right here. And this is our edge to edge design. What do you think? Oh my goodness. Can't wait for the launch. Yes, everyone is excited. Donna says, use the mini. I did. I did use it. Okay. You know, Lisa, you could use this design for blocks that are on point. I think it would look gorgeous. Definitely. Oh, Jan's here. Hi, Jan. How are you? Okay, I'm just, I cannot hiccup without my ruler moving. Oh, okay. So I think I've got all the questions answered. And I think we're going, wow, fantastic center. Isn't it, Suzanne? I love it. Cannot wait for the launch. The launch is going to be awesome. On the 19th, it's going to be June 19th. So we're looking forward to it. So that is what I have for you this morning, guys. Yeah, the mini has to be in there, Di. It really does. It just makes it perfect. This is all I have for you this morning. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget, you have my contact information by going to sewtoday.com. Under the Elevate tab, you'll see instructors. My contact information is there. Um, please use it if you need to. I have no problem with that. And we will be back next week on Monday night. I will be here at 6 o'clock, and we're going to do the last design for the Starry Night. And then on Tuesday, we're going to do clamshells, and on Wednesday, the Spinifex 7. And then the next day, Thursday, is our launch. So I hope that you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. And I just want to say, until we meet again, let's quilt.